Around the paddock, Katie Walsh won this last year for Ferdy Murphy on Poker de Savola. Aberdale 10-1. He's done nothing wrong. Really good looking horses. Hasn't run for some time. Alan Berry rides him. Alfa Beat hasn't run for some time. Ted, but a lot of money for him.
Yeah, good winner of the Kerry National. Shrewd man has him in Charles Burns, and a good pilot in back Robbie Mack. Arabella Boy, Nina Carberry rides this fella for Enda Bulger. He won last time up on Paul rode him at Ferry House. He's been knocking on the door a few times. If he gets the trip, he'll run a big race.
Beshabar is a fine looking horse. Tom David will have his work cut out. He's not always the best of jumpers, and he would have won. He would have beaten Chicago Grey when he got brought down and gave Christian Williams a horrible fall, broke both of his arms. He's 9-1, and Be There in 5. They always thought a lot of this horse, and Sam Whaley-Cohen having a bit of a spin round prior to the Gold Cup, of course, on Friday on Long Run. He came good last time under Felix de Giles at Kempton.
Captain Americo now with James Hewitt, formerly with Andy Turnell, has had 3 runs over fences and 1 over hurdles this season. He's useful. He could run into a place if he puts everything together, but he is a bit inconsistent. Chamiray for Robert Ogden, now with Donald McCain, did well over hurdles last season for Alan King, has won twice on heavy ground and stays really well.
Chicago Grey, Gordon Elliott's runner, ridden by Derek O'Connor. This fella ran well here behind Time for Rupert in the chase. He's won around Cheltenham as well. He's won around Galway. He is without a doubt the best amateur rider ever to ride over fences on his back in Derek O'Connor.
And double pride for Alan King. We know he stays really well, but jumping's been a problem of late.
Major Monarch, his owner, turned up for the morning line today. They were keen on his chances. He pulled up, never went a yard at Haydock last time. On his own, looked really good. He ran in the bumper here last year, but then got beaten by Captain Americo. Got comprehensively beaten, the horse that definitely stays. Pearly Steps, 11-1, got a good pilot in Tom Greenall, and Henry Daly needs a change of luck, and he could get it with this horse, big solid type. Regal Approach, another one, jumps, gallops, had plenty of racing, 40-1, and Some Target, one of the picks for Patrick Mullins. He's got a really good ride on him. He'll stay forever.
Sonasasta for David Pipe. Upped in grade. He's a handicapper that's been competing off lowish marks, but he's really improving. He's a bold jumper and he's won his last 2. And Ted, could you give Carla's Dream?
You couldn't give her any chance. 150-1. I hope she gives Barry O'Neill a good ride and runs respectful for Dennis Murphy. But any of her runs would suggest to finish in the first 3 would be a big task.
Relatively quiet race on the exchanges. A third have turned over that normally would be turned over in one of the championship races. About 1.5 million so far. Positive for me has to be Some Target. It's a right old battle at the top of the market between him, Alfa Beat, and Chicago Grey, but the positive Some Target, Mac.
Well, it's 11-2 each of 2. Alfa Beat and also Chicago Grey with 6-1 against that Some Target. Outside her back, Aberdale into 10-1 from 11-1, and also there's some good support too for Captain Americo, 25 into 16. But Ted, to ask you very quickly, did you ever ride in the race when they went round the back of the stands here at Cheltenham? Did you ever do that?
Yes. I did, yeah, I rode it several times. I was second on it a few times, never managed to win it. One of the very first rides I had with a horse called Jack Daniels. Was second to...
Ted, it's Patrick Mullins who rides Some Target, Ted. I mean, looks an out-and-out stayer to me.
Yeah, he won the national trial at Punchestown 3 mile and 6. He stays forever, and he's going to give Patrick a great ride here. Patrick has been our champion amateur on the last 2 or 3 occasions. He rides very well. He hasn't ridden as much over fences because Willie hasn't got a lot of horses for him to ride, but he's really getting the swing of things. He's going to have his first ride in the national in a short time and doing his gate.
Chicago Grey, clear favourite now at 5-1, 11-2 Alfa Beat and 6-1 against that Some Target. 5-1 favourite Chicago Grey.
There's confirmation of the current betting. And should Chicago Grey win this, it would be a little bit of a boost, another boost to the Time for Rupert form. Time for Rupert beat Chicago Grey here on his last start as they're about to make their way onto the course. Another large looking crowd. Biggest crowd of course will be Gold Cup Day on Friday. They're coming in for the opener, day 2, and away. And the Cheltenham Roar sends them towards the first fence. Captain America and Beshabar with Chamiray and the grey Alfa Beat on the far side and the red and white jacket over the first fence. Chicago Grey, the other grey is towards the rear in these very early stages. And so Beshabar in the hoop sleeves, in the headgear and noseband, Chamiray, Alfa Beat. In behind them, Sana Sorster in the light blue jacket, a little bit keen. Captain America in yellow colours, the inside of Be There in 5, then On His Own and Pearly Steps. as they gallop on towards fence number 3, making their way towards the furthest point away from the stands as they clear this. And down at that was Captain America, I think it was, that went at that. No, it wasn't. It might have been something else. We'll have a look in a moment. Major Malarkey it was that went under James Carroll, and there is James getting to his feet, departing at the 3rd fence, and now making their way towards the turn into the straight, and it's Chamaray on the outside of Son of Sorster, Beshabar then on his own, Captain America, Yellow Jacket near side noseband, then Be There in 5, followed by Regal Approach, and then Alpha Beat as they clear the next. Regal Approach just got in a bit tight to that, Some Target further back, followed by Pearly Steps, and then Chicago Grey onto the next plain one, and the leaders take that one okay. Pearly Steps made a mistake at that. One of those towards the back is the rank outsider Carla's Dream at this stage, with also towards the back Double Pride just behind Aberdale as they continue on towards the next 2 fences, fences 6 and 7. They jump 25 in all over this 4 miles. Chamaray from Son of Sorster, and then in 3rd Captain America, Beshabar up the inside of On His Own, then Alpha Beat out wide, followed by Be There in 5 in the shades of green on the far side. Sam Whaley Cohen from Pearly Steps, Some Target, then Aberdale, Regal Approach, Arabella Boy, and then Double Pride, Chicago Grey, and Carla's Dream. 2 circuits to cover from here as they make their way slightly uphill now towards another plain fence, which is right in front of the Best Mate enclosure in the centre of the racecourse. And over that it was Son of Sorster that probably took over in the lead now. The David Pipe trained Son of Sorster with Jamie Codd aboard on the inside of Chamaray, and then On His Own and Captain America and Beshabar, followed by Alpha Beat, who's been towards the outside all the way so far from Be There in 5. Pearly Steps after those, and then Aberdale towards the outside, Double Pride and Some Target, Arabella Boy, Carla's Dream and Chicago Grey still held up at the back of the field by Derek O'Connor. Jumping the water jump, and all safely over that, there'd be about 12 or 15 lengths first to last. And Son of Sorster on the near side of Chamaray and Captain America out wide. This is an open ditch. Over safely there. Beshabar's close up behind them on the inside of On His Own. And then Alpha Beat and Be There in 5. Pearly Steps and Aberdale. Another plain fence now. And Regal Approach reaching for it slightly on the inside. Arabella Boy made a slight mistake, with Nina Carberry forced to sit pretty tight towards the rear of the field. Still out the back, Chicago Grey and Carla's Dream as well, swinging left-handed towards an open ditch. Son of Sorster, the pale blue jacket on the inside of Captain America, coming to this one. Beshabar On His Own. Regal Approach made a mistake at that, lost a few lengths as they reached the top of the racecourse. Swinging left-handed, Son of Sorster, Captain America. Then On His Own, Beshabar and Chamaray towards the outside. Then still wide, Alpha Beat, Be There in 5. They're tracked by Pearly Steps. Further back then Regal Approach in the noseband on the inside, followed by Arabella Boy. Out wider, white sleeves, white cap is Aberdale. Green cap wide is Double Pride. Carla's Dream still towards the back. Some Target out the back as well, along with Chicago Grey. On to the next. Racing back towards the home straight, still well over a circuit to go at this point in this 4 mile staying contest here. Son of Sorster and Captain America, with in 3rd place On His Own, Chamaray and Alpha Beat. Nobody should be in any hurry at this stage, still a long way to go as they run towards this next left-hand turn. In a circuit's time, it'll be a lot more serious, with Captain America and Son of Sorster continuing to dispute it towards this new plain fence, which comes up quite quickly after that bend. Regal Approach was slow again. Some Target gave that a belt, who's currently in last place at the fence in front of the stands, and the leaders jump this one soundly, and it's Son of Sorster up the inside of Captain America, followed by Chamaray, and then On His Own and Beshabar round the inside. After Beshabar is Alpha Beat from Be There in 5 and Aberdale. Then Pearly Steps and Double Pride, Regal Approach, Chicago Grey has now got 3 behind him. Arabella Boy, Carla's Dream and Some Target as they now head towards the back straight. So swinging left-handed and making their way on now to the 18th fence of the 25 and racing down the back straight. A very patient ride so far, boys, from Derek O'Connor on Chicago Grey.
Yeah, that's Derek's style too. He likes to ride that kind of a race. He likes to come from off the pace, needing all his point of points. This old horse likes to come a bit late as well too. I wouldn't be too worried. He's full of horse at this stage.
And he's well in touch as well, not many lengths behind the leaders. Son of Sorcerer on the inside, going towards the water jump. Beshabar getting a bit more competitive, going over that one from Captain Americo. And then Chamaray and Alfa Beat, but lots of horses still in close company here. They've got a very sensible pace on towards the next. An open ditch. Son of Sorcerer, Beshabar over that one, followed by in third Chamaray in the pink cap. Be There in 5 and Sam Whaley Cohen on the near side. The green jacket of Captain Americo and Alfa Beat, then Regal Approach after these, and now Chicago Grey getting a very nice run round the inside. The grey and the maroon and yellow jacket there. Derek O'Connor making progress. Double Pride out wide of Pearly Steps, and then behind those Captain Americo, who's lost some ground. This is an open ditch they're coming to. Son of Sorcerer and Beshabar taking it together there from Chamaray and Be There in 5, followed then by Alfa Beat as they swing left-handed at the top of the hill. Chicago Grey is now being woken up, being ridden along, needs to find something. Alfa Beat just ahead of him, the other grey, then Double Pride and Regal Approach and Pearly Steps and Some Target and Carla's Dream down the hill, and Son of Sorcerer and Jamie Codd with Beshabar and Tom David on his outside. Be There in 5, Chamaray, Alfa Beat in behind them, then Chicago Grey as they race down towards the third last, coming into it. Beshabar the leader there, led by 2 or 3 now to Son of Sorcerer in second place, then Alfa Beat. Chicago Grey still trying to get on terms under pressure from Be There in 5 as they race towards the final turn, and it's Beshabar that leads the way, grinding on from Alfa Beat. Chicago Grey tries to get up the inside of Be There in 5 as they round the final turn. Beshabar will turn in by about a length and a half, but Chicago Grey is now beginning to answer Derek O'Connor's call, racing over the second last. Beshabar from Chicago Grey, then Be There in 5 and Alfa Beat. Here now is the final fence. Beshabar and Chicago Grey, they took it as one with the hill to climb at the end of 4 wearying miles, and Chicago Grey's strong suit is the stamina, and Chicago Grey by 2 lengths now pulling away from Beshabar up the hill, and Chicago Grey under a patient and winning ride wins the National Hunt Chase. From in second Beshabar, Be There in 5 was third, then Alfa Beat, followed by Some Target and Son of Sorcerer, Pearly Steps, Carla's Dream, Double Pride after Double Pride, Arabella Boy and Chamaray, Regal Approach, who made a lot of mistakes, and Captain Americo the last to finish. Well, Derek O'Connor expressing his gratitude to this grey here, who came under pressure just at the top of the hill. Just for a moment it didn't look as though he was going to get involved, but he's justified 5-1 favouritism in the end with a very strong finish in the closing stages to run down Beshabar and pay quite a compliment to Time for Rupert, who beat him a couple of outings ago. Celebrations on the horse walk here, an Irish win in the first race on the second day of this Cheltenham Festival, and a beautifully ridden winner it was too.
Well, Derek O'Connor, he's the winning most point-to-point jockey in Ireland, and this has been a long time coming, this win.
This has been coming since I know about racing. Cheltenham is brilliant, it's absolutely brilliant, and John Earls and the owners of this horse, Gordon and Paul Carberry, they instilled faith in me with the last 2 months that he was good enough. I'm just delighted to be here and to pay them back and say thanks very much.
Well, listen, you know, when you came off the turn, I thought I was watching you closely, and he just looked like he came off the bridle.
Paul taught me exactly from start to finish how the horses would go and how he'd race, and he taught me he'd get lazy, and that's all that happened. He's an out-and-out stayer. He jumped from fence to fence. It was if you're the right way for a race to go well, that's what happened.
You got right that inside, didn't you?
I did. Very fortunate.
Well, listen, it's a great moment for you. It's an amazing career you've already had. Well done.
Thanks very much.